our local post office, if they could come to the front. And please be nice to them.
Oh, stop.
Polite. Truthful but polite. So first, she's a customer service rep for the entire Bronx. If you have your position. Please welcome Diane Jones.
Good evening, everyone. We're here to address your issues. I'll let Ms. Roxanne introduce herself.
Okay, hi, my name is Roxanne Vandross. I'm at the Williamsbridge Post Office located on Gun Hill and White Plains Road, right up under the 2 train area, next to the funeral parlor. We're just here to represent the post office and the location we cover over here, this side of Boston Road, Pelham Parkway up to 222nd Street, as well as up the hill by the hospital, past Jerome.
Montefiore.
So we're making a lot of changes at the post office. We have a new management team. I know a lot of you guys have maybe some complaints about your mail delivery. Yeah. Well, we're really, we have a whole new team, managers, supervisors. I'm one of the supervisors. We have 4 supervisors over there now. And from, changes in the building to how we deliver mail. We follow our carriers. You see they have the scanners. We now have a GPS system on there. If you have a package, you were home and you went to your mailbox and you had a notice, you can call us immediately. If it's that same day, we can track our carrier, reach out to our carrier, customer's home, go back, do the scanners. We go back. It's like texting. It takes a few minutes, but it's on go back, the customer is home. If it's not an apartment number on there, their apartment number is. Because you have reached out to us that day, it makes it easier for you and for us. I don't know, anybody has any questions, concerns? We also had a problem with phishing. Phishing is when people go into the mailboxes and they sticky traps and they're pulling out and they're washing checks and things of that nature. We've removed boxes, we've put contraction in there. I mean, it was a inconvenience for some people, but we put a contraction in there. However, I know people were used to putting in packages, into the mailbox. You can no longer do that. You have to bring it to the post office, which also helps you because sometimes the package doesn't have the proper postage on it, and that avoids it from coming back, and inconveniencing you. But those are a few things, but we don't know until the community lets us know that there's something on the box, there's sticky goop or whatever it is, and then we address that matter immediately. I don't know if anything.
Question and answer. Okay, yeah. So obviously, we're going to have a little more time for the question and answer since we don't have another guest after her. But I want to give Valerie Babb, who's here with her 2 children, the first opportunity. What? Because who?
Listen, everybody, you don't have to keep going on.
All right. Well, I'm a feminist.
You don't have to make things short for me because when I'm ready to leave, I'll leave. You don't have to put me on the kids. However, I am here as a board member for 610 Waring, which is a condo on Waring between Bronx Park East and Barker, and we've been having some consistent issues with the mail delivery. I know that our lady just retired, but we had always Carmen. But we had always noticed that there were some issues whenever she was absent. We always knew when she was on vacation because the mail would kind of be just left up. So as early as last week, there was mail for 2330 Barker Avenue inside my mail box, which is 610, apartment, like right around the corner. But because it has the same apartment number, the person just dropped it in. So it's just a level of care that we would like to have.
Or reading.
Share that with the person, the gentleman. I introduced myself to him yesterday in hopes that I could begin a nice, positive relationship. Yes. Maybe he won't just fling the mail.
Yeah. A lot of our carriers do rush, and they tend to believe they're doing what's right. Oh, I'm not the one that did it. But when you do check them on it, it helps because then it makes them more conscious of the work that they're doing because they think they're better than the next one. And they got their self-pride or whatever it is. But we do, when you call the station, we catch it. Listen, you delivered this package or you delivered this piece of mail, watch your delivery. Watch how and also make sure when you order things or just your mailing, make sure it has an apartment number. Because when we do have people that go on vacation and we have carriers that fill in, your regular delivery your mail fine. They don't have any look at the boxes. But when you have people that step in, they're not familiar with the boxes. It's the same delivery.
You're blocking my
It's
view.
different in a different, in a different building, different area. So make sure you put your apartment numbers.
Huh? Because he's an asshole. That's why.
We put a lot of demands on our carriers too. As well, because we
Imagine
have
this
people that
fucking
call out, they
bed.
have to double up, and they have to cover for another employee. So they try to,
So what I'm trying to do is minimize the amount of complaints that's gonna come, but
Yes.
as a board member, we
Yes.
did promise our building folks that we would reach out to you guys and say, we're getting, it's 610 wearing.
Okay.
So you'll be hearing from us just to like, hey, if this is our guy, lean in on him.
Okay.
Let's get ahead of the
Will
complaint.
do. Will do.
Yes, good evening. I serve with Valerie on the board of 610 Waring. I had addressed these issues with Ms. Jones at the Pelham Parkway South, it was like 2 months ago at that community meeting. Yeah, the mail, Carmen was terrific. She's there forever. Okay, we're sad to see her go. The only times, isolated instances, when we had problems, when she was on vacation, the lady, of course, was on vacation, sick time. There was an incident in February, and Ms. Jones asked me the date. I didn't take it down. The mailman was dancing around the lobby with his earphones plugged in. And when I said, "What are you doing?" he challenged me and said, "Well, what can you do about it? You don't know me. You don't know where I'm from. You don't know anything." Okay. I can't take the day because Ms. Jones had it. It was back in February. It's a past issue, but the mail is haphazard. It is growing worse. It's thrown up on the windowsill. It's thrown on top of the mailbox.
On the floor.
I have received in my mailbox mail from Matthews Avenue, Paul Avenue, Sedgwick Avenue, which is not even the zip code. It is just coming all from the Bronx. It's just totally haphazard. It's go find your own. One day do all the maintenance receipts. That is a delay and loss of money to the condominium up on the windowsill. Go find your maintenance receipt and don't find it. It winds up in the trash and don't pay. It's just, I don't know if it's attitude or laziness or what. I understand everybody's in pressure and trying to maintain their shortages in government, but I mean, we can do better.
People need jobs. Why
They got the job, they gotta do the
Why they
job.
hire incompetence? Why they hire incompetence?
On a specific date when there's a problem, but now, sadly, it's almost a
I
daily
mean,
basis.
do they take a reading test?
Right.
My neighbor's mail winds up in my mailbox.
Why do you hire
Okay,
incompetence?
610, yeah,
When
I'm
people need
sure,
jobs.
I'm not saying in that building, I'm sure every other building's getting the same treatment. You have to trade mail in the lobby.
The street supervision.
Yeah, I think this seems some kind of intensity
You
there
hire
needs.
better people. A lot of people
Thank you,
need
William.
jobs. You don't
Okay.
hire better people.
So, Grace?
Hi.
Thank you for being here. As regard to the fishing issue, I don't know if you're aware, but our community affairs people at the police department, or was it Tyrone? Anyway, so they told us that if you need your mail picked up, to call them, and they would come and pick it up from the 49th precinct. What I was wondering is that being that the mail person is there pretty much every day, can something be instituted whereas if you let the tenants know ahead of time that on such a day the mail person will take your outgoing mail as well as when they're bringing in the mail and maybe help that because with the fishing issue you have people that are disabled and elderly cannot go over to Gun Hill Road and walk all the way over there to bring the mail. Or even to walk down towards Arno, depending on where the post office is. You know, it's difficult to get out, and especially when the weather is bad. So they can have mail, so they will generally just put it in the mailbox as normal and then just take their chances. So I'm just saying, it just seems like an obvious solution to people that can't get out to get their mail. Maybe have something like that instituted.
Okay, carriers can pick up first-class letters as long as it doesn't impede their operation. So it can't be a whole handful.
Right.
Whereas every person gives a handful, and then the carrier can't take that mail back. But carriers
But-
can take first-class letters.
But in my building, I never know when the mail carrier is going to be there. Sometimes they're there at noon, sometimes they're there at 3. So there's not a set time that I'm aware of. We used to have somebody a few years ago, she was, on, now it's willy-nilly, whatever time they either get there really early or they'll get there in the middle of the afternoon or in the evening. So, I mean, if there's a specific time, possibly that can be maybe a couple of times a month, where the tenants would know that on such and such a day, at such and such a time, the mail carrier can take first-class mail.
Well, it depends on the mail volume, as I stated.
Right, right.
You can give me your address, and the supervisor will look at it to see what time the carriers do come, but this also depends on the mail volume for the day.
Okay.
There's a lot of factors that compete.
Okay, if you could state your name.
Hi, Angelina, and I live in Linrick Houses, and thank you for coming by to hear out our concerns. So I was a victim of the phishing several years ago, and I live in Linrick Houses, and many of my neighbors as well. And it was devastating because I wasn't working during that time, and it took a long time for me to get my monies reimbursed. My daughter made it out, the money order through Paramedic. So my daughter now has been a victim since October.
Wow.
And my daughter is disabled, and so is my granddaughter. They have not been able to have their monies reimbursed, and whoever is doing this, I really believe it may be a group, because they said that that the check was cashed at TD Bank, and the handwriting, I compared it to the copy I had from several years ago, and it's very similar. And it's devastating. You know, my daughter, we were able, she's my neighbor, she lives in the building, but she's on a fixed income. And so she's been calling. There was an inspector who came from Gun Hill several years ago. My daughter was the only person who knew exactly the time she had mailed the rent, because she was very particular about keeping books. Lo and behold, she's now the victim, right? And so she called the Gun Hill, I don't remember the inspector's name. I'd like to know what are the proper steps. She already went to the 49, put in got her number. Paramedic is giving her a hard time about reimbursing her money. And right now, you know, we don't know what are the proper steps to take. And how closely is the post office working with the 49 to get this issue resolved? Obviously, it's been going on for years. You know, have they, arrested anybody? Obviously, they haven't. I really feel it's a group. And heaven knows, I don't want to point fingers, but who knows? There could be people who are working within the bank. We don't know. How far in the investigation is it going? Because this has been several years already.
Is there an
We
investigation?
work with the postal inspectors, and when they research it, they don't give us the information so that we don't give that information out to anyone else. So if they make an arrest, they don't tell us. They do go and monitor the areas, but they don't let us know.
Yeah. Well, they did tell her that the check was cashed in the TD Bank. I believe it was over here on Collin Parkway.
And if it's a payomatic check,
It was a paramedic.
we only postal boxes.
Right, but nonetheless, it was at the mail box that was fished out. That's why the gentleman, one of the inspectors, I believe his last name was Gonzalez, several years ago, came, and he went from apartment to apartment, whoever was victimized, to get a report. We never got any feedback concerning that, but right now my concern is my daughter. And how can, what are the measures, what can I do to help my daughter right now in any kind of reporting that we have to do from your end?
What's the address of the box, where the box is, the location?
Yeah. Waring and Barker.
She was victimized recently.
It was October to be exact, but we're still trying to get the money reimbursed, and she didn't know what other measures to take, so we went to the 49, she got a report number. She also has been constantly calling paramedic with no end results.
Is it the police responsibility or the post office responsibility?
Let her answer.
The inspectors got in touch with you.
My daughter called the inspectors yesterday, and I believe again today they haven't returned her call yet.
We'll get your information.
I appreciate
We'll reach
that.
out to the inspector.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. Fran, you have a question?
Hi, thank you for coming. My question is, my mailman, I don't mention his name, it says on my apartment, all packages should be left. Everybody leaves it except him. Do they have to have everything signed for?
If it requests a signature.
No, most of them don't.
What kind of, where do you live? You live in a private house? An apartment?
665 Thwaites Place.
Is that a building?
Yeah.
Co-op.
That's a building. See?
How do you spell it?
Oh, THWAITES. Now, most of the packages are from QVC and they don't have to be signed. No, but he's the only one who will leave the package. If I yell out to UPS something, that's illegal. Like I got a package today from Chewy.com for my cats. Anyway, he just left it. He's the only one who won't leave it. I don't know if it's paranoia. I don't know what it is. No.
Well, the carriers have to leave it at their discretion. If we have a area that a lot of times the carriers, people will call and say, well, they left the package in front of my door and it was stolen. Even though it says leave the package. So the carrier has to do it at their discretion. If they have a lot of complaints that the package was stolen, they're not going to leave it. They're going to leave you a notice to pick it up.
Are you a postal worker?
Yes, I am.
I'll tell you who it is.
All right, so let me see who else has questions. All right, I want to get to people who haven't asked any questions throughout the meeting. So, gentleman in the back. Oh, your arm was on the wall. Okay. So, Christina, you raised your hand, right? You said hi. Okay. Sylvia.
Hello, my name is Sylvia. Again, thanks for coming in to hear our concerns. All right, so I'm really relaying a message. I'm a parent of students who go to Bronx Green, and it's 135. And I'm relaying a message from the parent coordinator. And she should have made it tonight. Her message is, how can the, she wants to know, Bronx Green receives a notable number of return to sender letters. It's right over here. Back. So they get the return to sender letters back, despite the fact that parents confirm mailing addresses on the labels. We periodically receive mail that belongs to other schools in the immediate area. So she just wanted to let you know they're receiving mail that belongs to other schools, and the parents, the notifications for parents are coming back return to sender, and when she calls the parents, they're still living there and they're confirming the address. So she would like to maybe get some contact information to find out what can be done. But when she has meetings and all different events, many times they say they didn't know. And the mail's coming back.
Can she make copies of the returned mail?
Okay. Can I speak to you about it?
Yes.
Who's next? Okay, let's see. So, Evelyn didn't ask a question yet. Hold on.
Hi, thank you for coming. I have a question. I haven't been there to the Gun Hill post office a few months. But the last time I went there, I waited more than an hour to get my package.
It's horrible over there.
Has things improved since then?
We are working on it. What usually happens is, customers are in, we move them out, and it just seems like customers come in droves. And it's usually around the time maybe the clerks are changing for lunch or things of that nature. So we do have to call our team out to assist with the packaging. Also, a lot of times, our carriers may miswrite the addresses on the labels. So it makes it a little difficult for the clerks to retrieve the packages. But we're definitely working on our wait time in line for the customers, because we know it can be a little frustrating. But we're working on it. That's part of our improvements.
Hello, my name is Richard. Every winter, I go out west for the winter, and I file a temporary forwarding request with the post office. And usually it takes several weeks for the mail to be forwarded to me out west. Half my bills I don't get in time to pay by the due date.
What you can do is at least 2 weeks prior, put it in, put it change it, because it takes about that long to process.
I'm there for the
No, prior to you leaving.
I'm there for the whole winter. I'm just going for a couple of weeks. So the forwarding address, no matter when I put it in, once you get it, you got it for the whole winter. The forwarding request.
And so he's saying that he's out for the whole winter. He's out for 3 months, right? 4 or 5 months. He puts in the forwarding request, let's say January 1st, but still March, April, his mail is getting forwarded to him very late. So, and his bills are getting to him late, and he gets late fees,
Do you know who your mail carrier is? Do you see your mail carrier?
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yes,
But-
you can let him know also that you're putting in a change of address so he can anticipate it and forward your, and gather your mail and start forwarding it opposed to waiting for the form to come in. You understand? You can start, when are you leaving? You know, if you have an open communication with your mail carrier, it also helps.
So we know each other.
Okay.
I forgot his name. But he knows I go away every winter,
Right.
so it's not a surprise to him.
Right, but we still have to have it on file because it goes to our Kingston office where they put in the temporary change of address, and then it comes back in here. So that might make a difference, the time frame. But you can put it in 2 weeks in advance, 3 weeks in advance, a month in advance, so it's being processed before you leave.
Before you leave. You don't have to leave yet. I'm leaving. Yes. Yes. So if not when you leave, put it in 2 weeks prior to, and you put that date on there, and it's already being processed. So by the time you leave, your mail will start being forwarded. It shouldn't be a problem.
It should be.
Hi, my name is
In
Mark
theory.
Kowalski, and I live at 2334 Boston Road. Before I lambast you nicely, I'd like to know, were you there, are you the team that's been there since October of 2015? Or are you new past that?
2015 is when I came in.
Okay, well then your service, in only one word describes it, it sucked. Every time we had new mailboxes waiting to come into our building, and going to your post office was like the MTA making an excuse. Every time, one time I didn't get my mail for 2 weeks, I went up to the window, finally had this gentleman, after waiting in line almost 2 damn hours, tell me I have 2 pieces of mail. And I had to get into a fight with the supervisor who was there on a Saturday. And lo and behold, there was a whole package of mail for me. And then the excuse I got, it was the carrier who didn't bundle it. One day he went there, well, the carrier took the mail with him, even though we had no boxes. The other problem that's manifested now is I don't even send my mail through the Bronx anymore. I send it from Manhattan because Verizon is still a company that's in business. And I can't tell you how many times I've sent my Verizon bill out, and I called your office, and every other month, until I started taking my mail in March to Manhattan, I get my bill back saying no such addressing in Albany. When I called your post office, they said, oh, you got to call Albany. That's an Albany problem. And I don't understand why Verizon doesn't exist somewhere down the line. Every other month, and then I'd get 2-3 days before my bill would be due, and I'd have to rush to one of the pay centers and pay it. So I don't think, I have very little hope in the Postal Service in the United States working well. I truly believe you'll be obsolete in another 10 years.
Do you have a copy of that bill?
I have about 3 of them, I think, if I still have the envelope, with the little sticker that says return, I'd have to have time to do that. I called your PO, I even found one up in Albany, and they said, no, it's your branch. So, you guys can find it out. I don't know how many people have had that issue, but since I take my mail to Manhattan and drop it off every day, when I have mail with bills, I have had no problems. And I work out on 23rd Street, just to let you know, Mike.
I do apologize for the inconvenience.
Yeah, I live on Holland Avenue, right? And there's some of these guys keep walking down the block, like delivering the meals, right? Is this with the job, with the postal service? Do they have to have earphone in the ears while they're working?
They're not supposed to have both ears plugged in.
Right. So
You
this guy,
allow them to have one ear plugged in.
one ear plugged in. This guy be walking down the block back and forth, delivering the mails, and I used to be home on Mondays, and he used to be shouting and cursing and sending out bad words and delivering the mails. I want to know how this guy is going to concentrate when delivering the mails and reading the mails and talking and cursing and having a conversation with somebody else. I don't know who, and he's delivering the mails and just putting the mails like this. How it is he's going to deliver the right mail, the right address.
Well, that's part of the problem.
Only on Mondays?
Well, at Mondays I used to be home.
Okay.
And that's why
That's the same carrier.
And yes.
What's the address?
Holland Avenue.
What's the address?
Address.
2540.
Excuse me?
2540.
2540.
2540, all in there.
Ooh, there are going to be some job openings soon.
Hello, everybody. I don't know how many. My name is Norma Lopez, and I'm a board member. And first of all, I am so happy to see you guys here. I don't know if you participate in any other community organizations, but for us, I believe this is the first time, am I right? So I am very, very happy to see you here today. There's always a beginning to building a bridge and so forth. I don't believe in insulting the guests, so I apologize if anyone was out of hand here today. Because we can always talk about how we can, fix our problems. And I certainly don't want you to not come back again. Okay? So we want to continue for you to come and address us. I'm just going to tell you that I live in 2455, and I have other tenants here. Who got Avenue? Can I safely say that our mail has been going from our neighbors into? Yes. It's been mixed. Nelson, has it been mixed? My mail has also, I've gotten 2455 Kruger Avenue. So I'll get my neighbor's mail.
In the same building?
In the same building. I'll get my neighbor's mail in my box. So that's one issue.
That seems to be the
For
main
the past 2
thing
years,
going on.
anytime I went to the post office in London Road, I want to vouch what the brother with the hat over there said with the earphones. I want to vouch what you said. I want to vouch what you said. So there's another person that has seen the staff wearing earphones. We all expect professionalism.
Yes.
Right? As we give professionalism, as you have very well presented here today. And it begins at the top. So if this is what they have there, it should reflect that.
Yeah, but that's a silly job, right? It's a silly job.
That's okay.
No,
that's hold on, let me finish. That's why I'm saying, if they come here, they're presenting themselves professionally, and it usually begins at the top, so that should trickle down, right?
Yes, I agree.
So, what they do reflects you, and right now, it is not what I am seeing. Okay? So, maybe a memo, maybe a meeting of how they should present themselves to the community, because we love our post office workers. We adore them. Don't we love them? Rain, shine, snow, sleet, ice. You guys are there. Okay, so we appreciate you. So maybe a little conversation about that, especially who are with the customer service in the front. Okay, the back they want to do their thing is different, right? But we want professionalism. So I'm going to vouch what the brother was saying about the earphones. I'm going to vouch about the boxes that we go pick up. No tracking structure in place. They don't know where they're going. Who has the box? Who did? I experienced that myself, and I've had to return 2 or 3 times. So everything that I've heard here, I've also experienced, and it's been within the past 2 years. I was hoping that you told me that you started like 2 weeks ago. But again, it's a beginning. I thank you for coming here, and we are hopefully going to have you as part of this organization. And I thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. One of the issues that I have, and I know sometimes you hire temporary workers, they're not in uniforms, they might be pushing the wagon, you don't see anybody carrying anymore, but they might be pushing the wagon, but there's nothing identifying them as postal workers other than the wagon, and they could be somebody who
stole the wagon.
They have
their IDs.
I don't often see that on them, and I just want to know if there was something that they, like an ID or some kind of official-looking postal something that they could be wearing, so we know that they really are the postal person,
There should be a dress code. Just like the police, there should be a dress code.
They do have uniforms,
but they should wear them. But if they don't wear them,
it takes a while for their vouchers to come in. So, I don't know. Vouchers are getting. They have their IDs. If you don't have it, I'm saying they're not showing them. Okay, we'll let you know. Yeah, give a service over there.
Good evening, ladies. Thank you so much. Ms. Jones is my partner at our Toastmasters. And I really appreciate, I know that the transition at Gun Hill was a very humongous transition, and I appreciate all your efforts. And I really thank you on behalf of the organization for you coming and spending time with us, because we value what you do, and we value, the services we have. We thank you for bringing back some of our mailboxes, newly improved. There's still some outlying ones that are not there yet. Is there a reason that they're not coming back, or is there? Yeah, some that will move to be improved upon, and So there's a schedule. Okay. Okay. So they're and I know my center's going to be remiss if I don't say it. The one at 233rd and Gunther. Okay. So 222nd Street. Okay. So so I know that we get a lot of complaints different times about are we getting our mailbox back, and how soon, and where is it starting, and that's like our number one postal complaint. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kathleen?
And I've list a few months, people that have sent me letters and had them returned to them, that claiming that I did not live there anymore. And I didn't know why this has happened. Also, my son got birthday cards returned, and if they could look into why this is going on. I never put in a change of address or notified them that I had moved. But yet, people have had their mail returned claiming I had moved.
Claiming that you moved, or that it was undeliverable or insufficient address? Because insufficient address, if you live in an apartment.
Not insufficient address, but had moved.
If you can, do you have a sample? Can you get one? So we can look and see the date.
I can maybe ask somebody, but I'll give you my name at the end, and you can check on it, my name and address.
Okay, how many people left do we have the questions? Mark? Do we have anyone else with a question? All right, last question, Mark.
My name is Mark Cayley.
We know your name.
I live here 30 years. I live at 2750 Oldville Avenue, apartment 6C.
Okay.
I made numerous calls to the post office the last 2 to 3 weeks. I spoke to Miss Santos.
That's the manager, yes.
She said she was going to call me back. She said her phone is always open for complaints. She hasn't called me back, number one. Half the time they don't answer the phone for an hour or two, literally. They don't. When they do answer the phone, they put me on hold for literally 10 minutes, and then no one else comes back to the phone. I've made complaints to Thomas Messina at Congressman Crowley's office. He's been looking into it for about 2 weeks.
So
late mail deliveries, which usually comes between 11:31, now comes between 1 and 5 or 6. And then my problem is once the bank closes, because I'm an advocate for the homeless, poor, disabled, volunteer. So once the bank closes, if you need a disability check, or you need a check from Human Resources, or you need a check from your business you run, or a mail order business you run from the house, it doesn't come on Friday and Saturday before the bank closes, so you lose 3 days of cash flow on your money.
They're speechless.
Ms. Santos is on vacation right now, but Ms. Vanderbilt will answer the phone, and she will make sure that the staff answers the phone.
Well, they haven't been answering.
She will.
My next question would be, if a postal worker is unionized and they want to have a union meeting, then the grievance, then they go through a process. The union fights for the workers, so then you have a process that takes years and days, a month, literally weeks and months to resolve. So, and then I get told.
Get to the point.
Raphael, it takes time.
Yeah, you got to get to the point.
I get told there's lack of money, lack of manpower. I was told when there's a substitute mail person, they have to learn their roots. So my attitude is, if you don't know the job, get a new one.
All right. So just to sum up what Mark's saying, what we've all been saying, there has been for a long, long time a problem, not with only the professionalism, but the basic service of the Gunhill Post Office. Many times, Kay left, but she wrote a letter to the editor about waiting 2 hours. Packages it's willy-nilly. You got Wayne's building is getting mail for Sedgwick Avenue.
Yeah.
It's like I understand during the Bush administration there was a lot of budgetary restrictions, unnecessary budgetary restrictions put on the United States Postal Service, such as having to fund their pension ahead of time. I understand that there is a lot of I don't know if it's budget cuts, but if they're in a dire financial hole. We as a community, we have about 50 people here, capacity 74 in here. A lot of people have been having serious issues with this. The fishing we see a light at the end of the tunnel because most of the mailboxes have been replaced after some fight with trying to get some of those mailboxes back in. But most of them are back in for our zip code, for this particular neighborhood. So hopefully that problem will be solved. But we really need our post office to improve its service. If things go wrong, we at least want a person who is forthright and hopefully friendly to talk on the phone with about these issues.
Right.
So, as the supervisor there, will you give us a pledge to improve upon the service that has deteriorated over the last couple of years?
Yes, I will. We're working on it. It's a tough battle because we have over 100 and something employees that we work with, 100 and some odd different personalities. You know, every day is a different day.
They gotta check their personality at the door.
The integrity of the Postal Service. You know, we have daily service talks with the employees. You know, we have young employees now. Yes, we have young
That's
employees.
no excuse.
So, you know, we have to engage with the employees. The Postal Service wants us to be engaging with them because it's a different millennium.
What? Really? In other words, they have no work ethic.
Postal employees that we used to have years ago.
Let's coddle them.
You know, so we have to build the
Unbelievable.
pride. We have to push the pride in the brand. So, and it takes time. It takes time.
And we are providing training.
Yes, and we're providing a lot of training.
And that's why we see that in you. But I think that there's something missing. I think you need help. Maybe you need a letter from all of us. From the community.
Yes.
To bring some more help to you. To bring some training to the staff.
Yeah, maybe if we have some of them.
What happens is this,
Yeah.
especially in big
Right.
industry, when the community, as ours, that we really care about community, we always try, and we're out here. And then you have individuals as yourselves that are trying so hard, but you shouldn't have to do it by yourself. Because you're right, different personalities, the millennials, okay, we understand them, they know everything. We gave birth to half of them with you. Exactly. We all know you too.
That's right, Raphael.
But what do you guys think? Maybe we can.
The new employees that are coming in, are they unionized?
What does that have to do with work ethic?
Okay, so on the one hand, maybe they don't have as much ambition and inspiration to do the job. Hold on.
No.
To do the job the way they're supposed to. However, I worked for Whole Foods Market for 9 years. I once got put on a final warning. There are such things as write-ups. There are such things as disciplinary actions.
That's right.
If these
If you don't do your job, you lose your job.
And mailwomen
Very simple.
have earphones in the ear. You receive a complaint. You get a name. What happens? Do they get spoken to, or do they get disciplinary, action?
It depends on.
Or you take them out for coffee and tea.
How many times it occurs.
I know jobs are hard to come by, but has anyone actually lost their job because of the unprofessionalism they have? Okay, I'm just asking because I was once associate manager. You could only ask so much where you have to put the letter of the law down and say, look, you're written up or you're fired, something like that. So I think we've spoken all we could. He has a question. Or are you just leaning on the wall? Okay. All right.
I wasn't going to say anything, but I have another sister that's a postal worker over 25 years. But regardless whether the union or not, there's such a thing as sending out surveys to see what type of service the constituents are receiving.
There you go.
As well as coming out from behind the desk and see what's going on with your employees. You can't see the whole lot from behind it if you got to come out from the field. So the thing about the big millenniums and what have you, associate has been working for 38 years, had to put him out. Okay, but nevertheless, you still got to keep up with your employees and see what's going on, and it's feedback both ways. So the fact that they're young people, it's that's evasive. You got to do the job professionally.
Right.
And nowadays, I just read just a day ago, they're going up in the stamp, it's already 49 cents to 50 cents. And I walked to the post office because I know about the fishing, but years ago. And I have a dietary condition all the way from Owenville, all the way over to what's that one on Pelham Bay. And the other one will get to Allerton. It shouldn't be that way, but I think that you're improving the service with the mailbox situation. I thank you very much. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Gene Perlman, and I think one thing you have to do for the post office, you have to raise the standard.
Yes.
Because if you lower the standard, this is why you have the problem. And this is probably what the story is now. Thank you.
I think the last question.
Marcy.
I think the last question. Christina has one. Okay, so Sylvia, Christina, and then we're going to close it out and speak to her after, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, Marcy didn't ask a question, so we got 3 more. All right, Sylvia.
This is not even a question. It's just want to bring up something. Probably about 4 months ago, I was walking home, and there was a mail delivery lady, and she was screaming and crying. She said she got robbed. Okay, and she said it was at the building. I can't remember it on Holland. She said Holland Avenue.
I think it was between Burke and
between Arnold Avenue, Holland Avenue, and Arnold.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would be whatever. Anyway,
she got robbed. And what bothered me the most is I know my mail is in there, and it made me wonder how safe my mail is. There was a few people few bystanders who came by. She called the police 3 times. Nobody came for her. I was asking her, we was trying to ask her, people was asking her if she wanted a ride. She was screaming and crying, and she called, I think, one of the people from the post office, and what made her so mad, she broke her phone in the street, she threw it. They told her, keep delivering your mail. And she said she wasn't allowed to take her mail into someone's car, someone who wanted to help her, because it was United States Postal. So what I wanted to know was, if one of your mail delivery people get robbed,
we are
what
at
do you
the scene
do?
immediately.
Well, apparently not.
There was no one.
She got physically robbed.
She got robbed. She left the mail in the lobby, she said, and it was the second time. And she went to deliver the mail, and she said, I don't know.
In the lobby. The lobby.
Yeah, she left it on the lobby. But what bothered me was how safe is our mail if it's not taken seriously when they're trying to call for help. I would have thought the postal service would have somebody come out immediately.
Immediately we come out.
Well,
I'm usually the one out there, so I'm not certain what situation it's
It was Holland. She said the building's on Holland Avenue. I thought it was Arnold Avenue, Holland, but she said that it's the second time. She was crying a lot when she called.
When was this?
It was probably about 4 months ago.
How many
I'm just saying,
people
I just
get
saw her
robbed?
as somebody walking home.
I'm usually the one out there on the scene. We've had robberies on Holland where they took
I don't know about
keys. She was
I don't know.
I was out there on the scene.
I was asking what happened.
Knocked on the neighbors.
I was just a bystander, and I was asking what happened.
Okay, so I don't know that situation.
We'll look into that.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
Hi, my name is Christina Kofi. I live at 2165 Bolton Street. My mail, in my mailbox, a lot of times I will, see IRS, and I say, oh my gosh, I'm being audited. And then I look, it's other people that are always sending, their mails to my mailbox, and I want to know why is that happening.
We need your apartment number. And then we can
Apartment 2C.
Okay.
And that's been going on for a while.
We'll check
I probably have one at home now.
Yes. So if you have it, you can bring that in or
Where, the post office?
Yes.
My post office
Square, right?
No,
What's your zip code? 10467?
2.
104, your Parkchester.
Yeah.
you're different.
No.
Different zip code. But I will let the manager know.
Yeah, and I see
Hey, how are you, Parkchester? How are you? Really?
We can only take one more question. Ms. Vandals has to be to work at 3 a.m. Oh, wow.
Just a quick comment, and then she's going to take a question. If the mailboxes are being broken into frequently, why don't they have a camera set up somewhere and catch the person?
Mailboxes. What are you talking about? The ones
No,
on the street. Or the collection boxes? Have a camera. The inspection service is monitoring that. They're definitely looking into that. Cameras cost money, unfortunately, but they are looking into that.
We'll have a fundraiser for you. How about that?
This is not a question, this is a comment.
Oh.
My package delivery guy, who now has like 4 people in the area, so it's not just him. He told me that if I wanted my packages to be delivered to my neighbor's house, so it's secure, then I had to give him a letter. So maybe people that want to get packages delivered to a neighbor's house, write a letter, this way he's covered in case it doesn't happen to him. And I have the earbud guy. He's a young guy. He took over from, I think I have the earbud guy. He's fine. I just speak to him, he answers, and I don't think maybe one is...
But that's not professional, regardless. That's not
Well, they're
professional.
walking around the streets, everybody else has earbuds.
But they're
walking in
working.
the streets making stop signs.
But they're working. But they're
All right, so
working.
I think everyone is, a lot of people are talking after me. Who's staying? Is anyone staying?
No, they want to get out of here as fast as possible.
Okay, so here's a very important question. How do we contact one of you?
Yes.
You can call me at 718
Ow.
Take down the number, people.
508-0903.
Is there an email?
508-0903.
Now, is there an email? Let's say if Kathleen wants to send you a copy of her issue, instead of having to go all the way over there, could she take a picture and attach it to an email?
Diane.jones@usps.gov.
There we go.
Diane?
DIANNE.
DIANNE.
Jones.
Dot Jones.
At USPS.gov.
And, and what's that phone number again?
718-508-0903.
That's your direct line?
0903. 718-508-0903. Diane.jones@usps.gov. 2 N's in Diane. Ladies, thank you very much. I hope we were somewhat polite.